Unlike a season ago, the Braves' plans don't include packed bags with nowhere to go. The current leaders for the wild card are doing all they can to avoid a repeat finish like last September. Just 10 games remain while the Phillies continue to fight their uphill battle. And they collide a final time with the Braves, with the strangest part of the 2012 home season taking the mounds. It's down to 10. That's right. The regular season has 10 games remaining, including this finale against the Atlanta Braves. The Phillies try to erase the thoughts of yesterday's setback and try to start anew today with Cliff Lee on the mound. The Phillies begin play today, 4 games behind the Cardinals for the final wild card spot. Meanwhile, the Braves, their magic number to clinch a playoff spot is down to 3 after yesterday's victory. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with Chris Wheeler. The Phils are back at it today, and they'll send Cliff Lee to the mound, and Ryan Howard will be back in the middle of this lineup. In fact, it's the exact lineup that Charlie Manuel sent out yesterday and the day before against these Braves.
Yeah, and he's swinging really well right now as Ryan Howard. Tom hitting a lot of home runs. Hit his 300th career home run, a long one to center field. Hit a breaking ball off Minor yesterday, and that thing thudded off the bricks in dead center field. No doubt about it for Ryan Howard, and he has gotten to that point faster than any player in Major League history, with the exception of the great Ralph Kiner, who spent so many years with the Pittsburgh Pirates and, of course, in the broadcast booth with the New York Mets. And there's the list of guys right there. The fastest to 300, Juan Gonzalez coming up, and then A-Rod and the great killer, Harmon Killebrew. So congratulations to Ryan Howard for number 300 and the speed he got there.
And speed of the RBIs has really picked up for Ryan Howard. Just imagine where he would be if he played an entire season. That's what the Phils are hoping for next year. Now, Cliff Lee goes to the mound today. Lee has been very good. In fact, he's been one of the best pitchers in baseball since the 1st of August.
Well, the last 5 starts, he has a 1.02 earned run average. This guy has been looking like Cliff Lee, the strangest season imaginable. But the game that he pitched here 2 starts ago against Miami, indicative of where Lee is at this point. He can throw the ball where he wants to. It sounds easy about location, but it's hard to do it. And he has all his pitches going, and he almost always is able to throw them where he wants to. He's staying out of the middle of the plate, and as a result, he has not gotten hurt the way he did in earlier games. Look what he did in this ballpark last year. Just amazing to be under 2. His earned run average a lot higher this year. But as we said, when you go back over this Phillies season and examine what happened to Cliff Lee in so many starts this year, it is probably one of the more bizarre seasons that a really good pitcher could have ever had.
Well, we've said this often here in the month of September. The Phillies need a win, and they need Cliff Lee to step it up this afternoon against the Atlanta Braves. It's the final game of this 3-game series, the final time the Phillies will face the Braves this year. Tim Hudson on one side in his 27th start, Cliff Lee in his 28th start, getting set for the Phillies. Well, a great giveaway today, thanks to the folks at Total. It's the Cole Hamels action figurine. Fans are certainly enjoying that. When we return, the lineups and first pitch to the series finale. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Anheuser-Busch. Smooth Busch beer and easy drink in Busch Light. By Toyota. Every new Toyota purchase comes with Toyota Care. By Citizens Bank. We're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. By Xfinity, the official HD triple play provider of your Phillies. And by Independence Blue Cross. We're creating a more coordinated healthcare system that is built around you. Independence Blue Cross, changing the game. The season series, the last day of this series before the Washington Nationals come to town. A sold-out crowd settling in, getting ready for today's festivities. Here's the starting lineup for the Braves. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Leading it off in center field, Reed Johnson. Martin Prado, the third baseman, bats second. Jason Hayward hits third, followed by Freddie Freeman and Dan Ugla. Jeff Baker's in left field. He'll bat sixth. Batting seventh is David Ross. Andrelton Simmons is back in the lineup. He'll bat eighth. And batting ninth and pitching is right-hander Tim Hudson. And they'll face Phillies lefty Cliff Lee. On the year, 6-7, an earned run average of 3.27. But he has had a resurgence since the All-Star break for the Phillies, and it's been much needed. Yeah, great run time. Last 5 starts, 4-0 with a 1.02 earned run average. 28 walks, as you see there, and only 4 walks in his last 72 innings pitched. There are his career numbers against the Braves. 1-0 this year. A real good job a couple weeks ago down in Atlanta on a hot Saturday afternoon when he bested Tim Hudson. Oh, the Phillies are trying to bounce back after yesterday's difficult loss to the Braves, which has pushed them back to 4 games behind the St. Louis Cardinals for the final playoff spot with 10 games to go. The Braves, meanwhile, have a magic number of 3 to clinch a playoff spot. Time for our Nissan Keys to the game. It is a beautiful afternoon here at Citizens Bank Park, a real fall type of day where you have 2 pitchers. They work fast. They want hitters to make contact. And the Phillies want to delay the Braves clinching party because they're going to get there eventually. Reed Johnson will lead it off. He's playing center field today for Michael Bourne, who injured his thumb sliding into second base yesterday. Bourne's thumb was swollen today and sore, so they decided to give him the day off. And the first pitch to Johnson is in there for a strike, so we're underway. And the count is no balls and 1 strike. Johnson overall a .296 hitter with 3 home runs and 20 runs batted in. He's been very good against left-handers. In fact, he's a pretty good bat off the bench against left-handed pitching. He bunts it foul toward the on-deck circle. Well, he's one of those real dirtball players. He'll do anything he can to beat you. He just looked at you, get the pants hitched up and all that. He's always been really gritty. Saw him for a long time with Toronto. You'd see him in spring training a lot. Then with the Cubs. And now over here, he's a nice guy for them to have on a team to go into postseason play. 0 for 2 so far in the series, and the 0-2 pitch. In the air to center field, not deep. It's going to drop, and it's a base hit. So a bloop single with the count, no balls and 2 strikes. And the Braves have the leadoff batter aboard here at the top of the first. Sometimes Lee will throw too many strikes, although he got in on him on that and jammed him. It was a good pitch. Martin Prado is now the batter. Prado so far is 4 for 7 with a couple walks in this series. And lifetime 4 for 22 against Cliff Lee. As a hit machine, he just hits the ball all over the place. As Tom mentioned, he'll walk also, and he'll play a lot of different positions. Yeah, today he's playing third. The last 2 days he played shortstop. And when the postseason gets here for the Braves, he'll be out in left field. That's all. It's not very versatile. He can play second real well, too. You need him over there. 0-1 the count to Prado. Opposite way, it's no balls and 2 strikes. Boy, he's so good as a 2-hole hitter, especially with a guy like Michael Bourne who's on base so much and as a base stealer. He'll take pitches, but he'll also shoot the ball in the hole. He gets ahead in the count, he'll pull. He gets behind in the count like now, and he'll shoot it the other way. Freddie Gonzalez in his second year as the manager of the Braves. 0-2 the count to Prado. Swing and a miss. That's a heck of a changeup right there by Cliff Lee. 1 away here in the first. Got all his pitches working lately. Tom says a changeup right there. You see it dives down out of the zone. Jason Hayward's now the batter. Hayward .273 overall with 27 home runs and 79 runs batted in. He had 4 RBIs in yesterday's ball game with 3-run double and then an RBI single later on. And he made it really difficult. Yes, it was bad enough 3-0 early, but then 6-0 in the second inning against a team with as good a bullpen as the Braves. You figured it was going to be a tough day. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's amazing how far he's off the plate. There's Roy Halladay, who had a tough day yesterday. A lot of talk about him today and some of the things he said and whether he's right. And well, we'll just see if he makes his next start. They have TBA right now.
It could be a 4-6-3 double play, although that's going to be a tough one for Rollins to turn. 4-6 on the putout.
Yeah, Chase didn't give a good flip there.
Yeah, there are 2 outs here in the first.
Utley's pretty good with that backhanded flip. Sometimes the second baseman will pivot and throw it hard over there, especially if you have a fast runner. Haywood runs well, but watch what happens here. He gives that little flip, and he pulls Jimmy way off the bag, and you're not going to get the double play then. That's why Utley kind of hung his head after he did it, because he knows they should be out of this inning.
Oh, instead, Freddie Freeman is the batter. Freeman 21 home runs, 91 runs batted in. Cliff Lee has struck about 5 times so far. Freddie Freeman's 1 for 8 in the series. He had a 3-run home run yesterday against Doc in the first inning. On an 0-2 pitch. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Talk about a strike thrower. How about Cliff Lee here in this first inning, just pumping 1 strike after another. Now here's where during the season he got hurt a lot with 2 strikes on him because he gets the ball in the middle of the plate too much. And hitters are very anxious right now, so this is where you throw a non-strike and you can get them out.
Threw a cutter on the outside part of the plate. 1-2. Here's Freddie Freeman's home run yesterday.
Well, that was a bullet. 0-2 pitch, clanked off the Budweiser sign. That got out in a hurry, didn't it?
It did.
Sure looked like it. That looked like a swing bang.
There was no chance for it to hook foul at all.
He hit it too hard, didn't he?
Roy said yesterday after the ball game, he said, I thought I'd be able to compete better than I did. Honestly, I just didn't do my job as a pitcher. I just didn't do my job, and I put my team in a tough spot. Curve ball hit to the right side. It'll sneak into right field, a base hit. Hayward's on his way to third. The Braves have first and third with 2 outs. I don't know if Ryan Howard thought that was going to be catchable for Chase Utley. I'm surprised he didn't leave his feet. Maybe it got past him too quickly.
I don't know. I don't think it was hit that hard. That was the thing. He really fooled Freeman, and he dove out and hooked it. But he didn't hit it hard. See, he comes off the bag, and that ball is not a hard hit ball. It just doesn't get to it. Utley's not. You don't really play Freeman to pull, especially against a left-hander, so Utley's going to be playing him more up the middle. He can't get to that.
Dan Uggla's now the hitter. Uggla 216 overall on a swing and a miss and a changeup. It's 0-1.
So here's an inning. A lot of crazy stuff has gone on for Lee. They should be out of this inning twice, really, with 2 plays in the infield, especially the one that should have been the double play.
Good cutter, and it's 0-2.
Again.
Yeah, so far, this is a 15-pitch inning for Lee. 13 strikes.
Now, Uggla is definitely a guy. Here's a first inning run. Same thing with Hudson. Uggla is definitely a guy. Don't throw him a strike with 2 strikes.
Now the 0-2. On the side, 1-2. Hayward on third, Freeman on first. A little low, and it's 2-2. Despite his struggles offensively this year, Uggla has shown an ability to take a free pass. He has 90 walks on the year and well over 100 strikeouts.
160.
That's well over.
Yeah.
Now the 2-2. Outside. 3-2 the count. There's Jeff Baker, who's getting the start today in left field. He's in the on-deck circle.
Well, he has a base open here. He doesn't have to give in to him.
Swing and a miss. He got him. He fights back after allowing 2 runners to reach the corners. He gets Ugla on strikes to end the first. We come back. We'll be with the bottom of the first. Phils, let's take a look at their starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Leading it off at shortstop, Jimmy Rollins. Batting second is Juan Pierre. Chase Utley's over at second base. He'll hit third. And then Ryan Howard is the cleanup batter. Carlos Ruiz does the catching. Dominic Brown is in right field. He'll bat sixth. John Mayberry Jr. is in center field hitting seventh. Kevin Franzen will bat eighth. And batting ninth and pitching is Cliff Lee. And they'll face veteran right-hander Tim Hudson, 37 years old. He has 196 wins and 103 losses. And he's lifetime 9-9 against the Phillies. He has faced the Phils an awful lot in his career.
He's another guy like Lee. He's a contact pitcher for the most part. See the hits per innings pitch, a ground ball sinker guy. He'll cut his fastball a little bit. He tries to make hitters hit non-strikes and get themselves out.
27th start for Hudson against the Phillies, and the first pitch to Jimmy Rollins. Rollins hits it in the air to shallow left field. Long run for Baker. And Simmons peels off, and Baker makes the catch. During the 2012 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Graham Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs.
Well, you beat Tim Hudson like a lot of sinker ball pitchers is trying to make him miss down and then bring the ball up, because he doesn't throw real hard anymore, but he has great movement down with his pitches.
Juan Pierre has faced him 35 times in his career. He's 10 for 35 against him. And it's 1 ball and no strikes to Pierre.
That's what you're trying to do right there, and it's not always possible, but try and make him miss with sinkers and then elevate it a little bit.
1-1 the count.
You look up in a Tim Hudson game, 5th inning, 6th inning, and it's your scorecard, and it's almost all ground ball outs when he's on.
Juan Pierre got the start yesterday against the left-hander Mike Minor. Charlie Manuel has really appreciated the way Pierre has played, not only during this month of September, but over the last couple of months. He's essentially played himself into being in there almost every day, thanks to a .435 average in the month of September. Ground ball to first, and there are 2 outs. With 2 outs, Chase Utley's the hitter. Utley has a home run against Hudson and 7 runs batted in. He has 13 hits against him. Utley is 1 for 7 so far in the series. Phillies only had a few hits in yesterday's game. They didn't have a whole lot going against Mike Minor and the rest of the Braves bullpen. In fact, they had a triple from Kevin Franzen, a home run from Ryan Howard. That was just against Minor. And then they had only one hit against Chad Durbin. It was a single by Carlos Ruiz. And that was it. Off the end of the bat, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, that point you're making there, Tom, is one of the reasons people think these guys could be so dangerous in postseason this year, because of the way they shorten the game. Their bullpen is outstanding. When you get around the 7th and certainly into the 8th inning with them and they have the lead, they don't cough it up very often.
Two and 1 the count to Utley, trying to get at Hudson, which a lot of teams have in the first inning. The Phillies are one of those teams. Hudson's allowed 22 first inning runs.
Yeah, we had that stat up about Lee too. A lot of really good starting pitchers over the years will give up first inning runs, and if you don't get them then it can be very tough.
Utley pulls it foul. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Grace Forlano of Voorhees. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game. Then Grace, you'll win $100.
A bit chilly here today. You see him blowing on his hand. Beautiful afternoon. Shadows are going to come quick today.
Ground ball foul. Sam Perlazzo let it go by. Conditions today as the winds are blowing in, 67 degrees and sunny. On wheels, the second day of fall.
Second day, and it knew. No doubt about it. Good day to pitch because the wind's blowing so much that you hit the ball left center in the air, it'll get knocked down.
Liner to center field. Johnson on the run, and he's there. The wind knocked it down, and it settled comfortably into Reed Johnson's glove for the final out. No runs. Nobody left. Ryan Howard will lead it off for the second in this scoreless game. Every remaining Phillies out of market game live online and on your favorite devices at HD quality. Visit Phillies.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. Top of the second, Jeff Baker leads it off. Baker, a .253 hitter, swings at the first pitch. Rollins from deep in the hole. Boy, did he fire a strike. Look at all the speed on that toss from Rollins for the first out. So one away. It's time for the Major League Notebook. Murph, take it away.
All right, T-Mac, brought to you by Gwinnett Mercy College. And guys, it is that time of the year. Champagne corks were popping yesterday afternoon in Cincinnati when the Reds got the 6-0 win over the LA Dodgers. They became the first team to clinch a division title this year as they clinched the Central Division. And then just a couple hours later in San Francisco, the scene was a similar one as the Giants clinched their second Western Division title with a win over the San Diego Padres. So now the next team with the smallest magic number would be in the National League as well. That's the Nationals at 6, guys.
Yeah, the Nationals are playing the Brewers as we speak. That game's scoreless in the bottom of the first. Magic numbers are being whittled down all over the place as David Ross takes outside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
The Braves have a magic number of 3 to clinch a postseason berth.
Yeah, the Giants, you know, when the Giants and the Dodgers were thinking about trades at the deadline, I mean, on paper it seemed like the Dodgers had made, well, more of an impact than the Giants. Giants picked up Marco Scutaro and Hunter Pence, and the Dodgers picked up Hanley Ramirez, Adrian Gonzalez, Shane Victorino, Josh Beckett, Nick Punto. I just threw that in there just because he was part of the deal.
He was part of the deal.
David Ross hits one in the air to center field. The wind will keep this, I think. Let's see where Mayberry goes. And no, it's over his head and over the wall. And it's 1-0 Atlanta. Well, he must have hit that a lot harder than Chase Utley did. It's the 8th home run of the year for Ross, and he did crush it.
Yeah, that's a brick shot normally in this ballpark on a normal day. Yesterday, that thing would have been like a Ryan Howard home run. But he just absolutely killed that thing. There it goes, and it's way up in the air too. You think, well, the wind's going to affect it. Mayberry thought he had a shot at it 2 or 3 times, and then he never really got to the wall. I don't know if he got to the wall, whether he could have jumped up and caught it. It looked like it was over by quite a bit.
Yeah, it did look like it was over by a good amount. Well, 1-0 Braves here in the top of the second. The 23rd home run allowed by Lee, the 21st to a right-handed batter. And it's 1-1 to Andrelton Simmons. First home run since the end of August for Ross, who has not had a good month of September offensively. Ground ball to shortstop again. Rollins backhands. Throws low this time. Dug out by Howard. 2 outs. And that'll bring Tim Hudson to the plate.
Tim Hudson's a good athlete. He can help himself with a bat too, and has throughout his career.
His average is at .220 this year. He's ahead, 2 balls and no strikes. Fly ball, shallow right field. Utley doesn't see it. Brown, though, is there. And the inning is over. But the Braves strike first. A solo home run by David Ross onto the bottom of the second. The Braves 1 and the Phillies 0. 17. All the big stories, all in 30 minutes, all by the region's best news team. Action News at 10, now on PHL 17, tonight and every night at 10. David Ross's home run has given the Braves a 1-0 lead as we move to the bottom of the second. 23 home runs allowed by Cliff Lee, the third most he's allowed in a season in his career. He allowed 30 and 29 in 2 different years with the Cleveland Indians. Ryan Howard will lead it off. Howard has been on a power surge lately.
Yeah, and this is a guy on the mound that he's had some power surges against before. That's what he's done the last 4 games. As Tom mentioned, he's been on this power surge. And he's hit Hudson over the years. Hit three off him in a game one time in this ballpark. Here's the home run yesterday. Off Minor, breaking ball away, and there it goes off the bricks.
That's our Cold Hard Blast, brought to you by Frost Brews, Coors Light. So Howard leads it off, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Ryan, 14 home runs, 55 runs batted in. I'm telling you, if he was here a full year, he'd be leading the league in RBIs. At least you would think so if you spread those numbers across the full season. Outside, 2-1. Howard has homered in 4 consecutive games. And Ryan did that in 2006, did it in 2007. And according to the Phillies media guide, he's never homered in 5 consecutive games.
We talked about the wind, the way it's going to knock it down in some areas. You pull the ball today and you're a left-handed hitter, you'll get some help because of the way it's going towards the right field corner.
2-2 the count to Howard. He fouls it away. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, get a quick update from New York, where the A's are on top of the Yankees 3-0. Cliff Pennington has hit a home run, a solo shot. That was a wild game yesterday.
Crazy ending.
The A's were up 9-5 in the 13th. Scored 4 runs in that 13th inning. The Yankees tied it in their half of the 13th and then won it in the 14th as Howard goes down looking on strikes. Raul Ibanez hit 2 more home runs for the Yankees. One was a pitch hit home run, and the other one occurred in the 13th. One away. Here's Carlos Ruiz. Carlos, a .330 hitter with 15 home runs, 62 runs batted in. Outside, 2-0. The Braves have realigned their rotation after this game with the Phillies. And they've done that to put Hudson and Chris Medlin both in position to pitch the first game of the postseason. Simmons will throw out Ruiz. Freddie Gonzalez said yesterday that they haven't decided who's going to pitch that first game. It seems like it'll be Chris Medlin, but he's given himself at least some wiggle room by making sure that Hudson and Medlin are both in line and rested to start that first game.
Yeah, probably the only way it wouldn't be Medlin if somehow he starts to struggle near the end and shows some problems in the way that he's been pitching, because he's been so good. If all of a sudden he falters a little bit, well, they'll have Hudson ready, and they'll certainly be comfortable in sending a guy like Tim Hudson out there.
Hudson said yesterday that Medlin is ready for that kind of pressure.
Well, you know Hudson is.
0-1 the count to Dominic Brown.
It'd be hard not to use Medlin, though, the way he's just dominating this league.
Brown off the end of the bat, a flare to left field. It's going to hang up there, though, for Jeff Baker. And another 1-2-3 inning for Tim Hudson. Phillies go down in order. Back-to-back games, innings, excuse me. Back-to-back innings. It's 6 up, 6 down. We go to the third here at Philadelphia. Go to the fan section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. Wills, here's the question. Chipper Jones holds the all-time record for career RBI by a third baseman with 1,622. Who is second? You have to think about that one, aren't you? Answer will be revealed in the 7th inning. Top of the 3rd, Reed Johnson will lead it off for the Braves. Johnson, Prado, and Hayward against Cliffley, who in the last 28 days, which is 4 starts, has a 3-0 record and a 0.95 earned run average. He's been that good. So far, he's allowed a run on 3 hits.